Cheers. Oh,
Eyes.
eyes. See, got lost in the sauce. Oh. Has this eyes thing been working for you
Um,
in the last 7 years? Hey, 7 years is a long time.
yes, it has.
Okay, well done. That makes one of us. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much, as usual, for
Hey, y'all.
listening. You know, I was thinking how the first episode we were like, we just need 5 listeners.
Yeah.
And here we are. I get the reports. Hundreds and hundreds.
Okay.
Thousands
I was gonna say
sometimes.
how many? 7. Okay, that's good. That's good. Stuff.
You know, do you think your ex listens to this?
Which one?
Oh, okay. Well, okay. And this is the
Moving on.
point where York gives us the flagometer of the week. Okay? Because your red flag
Aha.
is not my red flag.
Not at all.
And my red flag,
Tell 'em.
just not your red flag. Okay? So for this episode, and this episode only, give us the scale of red flagism.
Okay, so we're starting at 0, 1.
Okay.
The pink flag for this week is strawberry ice cream pink. I don't know if you're a fan.
I'm not.
Me either. But in my youth,
But if y'all want to sponsor us,
strawberry ice cream?
yeah. Oh, I thought you said Starburst. Didn't you just say Starburst?
No, strawberry ice cream.
Oh.
But we could do both.
Yeah, but
Damn.
if strawberry ice cream or Starburst, can y'all tell we need money? I'm like, any sponsor?
Wherever it comes from. So yes, the pink flag. You're dating a guy, having a good time, everything's great, but they are best friends with their ex.
Wait, we call dating different. Dating like I'm going on dates or my man.
Dating as in you're going on dates.
Okay.
Yes.
Seeing someone for me.
Seeing someone. Yeah.
No, culturally it's just different.
Yeah,
like us, we would never say dating unless that's your boyfriend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You are going on dates
Okay.
with a young man, but he's best friends with his ex. Now, they were together for 3 years, but then they had 6 months of not talking at all after
Okay.
they broke up.
Okay.
But then they realized that they missed each other as friends, and so they became close. And it's been completely platonic, except for one drunken slip-up when they slept together 6 months ago.
How long has it been since they broke up?
2 years.
So 2 years, then they didn't sleep together for 6 months. I mean, then they didn't talk to each other for 6 months. And then a year later, can y'all see I'm good at math? Then a year later, they had a slip up.
Drunken slip-up. Both just got wasted.
And then 6 months later, we meet? Okay, it's actually less than a pink flag.
Okay.
Because, you know, I'm someone who likes a familiar story, okay? I'm not one who's immune to a slip up. In fact, I may even encourage, is it a slip up if I encourage it? Is it a slip up if I throw the water on the floor?
Okay.
Okay, you know what I mean? So I can relate, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there's still feelings. Will I like it? No.
Okay.
Will I think that it's indicative of his character? No. So for me, it's more like,
You're not concerned that they're best friends and have had sex with each other recently.
concerned, yes, but based on my ego, but not concerned based on his character.
Really?
No, because I feel like there are some exes that, you know, if... okay, there's an ex I believe I'm supposed to be best friends with. It's
Okay.
just that, you know, the way it ended was a little bit like awkward. It wasn't a bad ending.
Right.
But I truly believe, maybe not best friends, I truly believe we were supposed to be close friends. And I think we probably shouldn't have even, well, I don't regret it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're in different cities. But I think if we were in the same city, I could see us being close. And I could see one drunken day,
Right.
things are a little slow. Let's reminisce.
Okay.
But I don't see that 6 months later I meet someone who I actually want to be with, that they should be like, that's a little shady.
I don't think it's shady. It's just it gives me pause. For me, it's like if the pink flag, if the strawberry
Ice
cream and Starburst is a 1, it's like a 0.5.
Yeah, for me too.
Okay, so it's pink-ish. It could come back. It could be a problem, but
And the fact that he told me, I'm kind of liking him.
okay.
This fake man, I kind of like. We might make it.
Okay.
No,
All
but
right.
I get what you're saying. I don't like it,
Yeah.
but okay, it's just gonna make me watch y'all's relationship a little closer.
Yes.
So yes,
It's
to your
information.
point, it's
Yes.
0.5.
Okay, great. All right. Red flag. Fire truck red.
Okay, there's a fire on the mountain.
What is that?
You don't know that song?
No.
Asha. And nobody seems
Oh.
to be on the run.
I thought that was a gospel hymn.
No.
I thought it was something about a burning bush. Okay. Anyway, you're going on dates with a young man. Fantastic. He picks you up for your second date.
Okay.
First date was great. Nothing but green flags. This is date 2. You get in the car, and there's an R. Kelly song playing, remix to Ignition. And you say, oh, R. Kelly. And he's like, yeah, and he doesn't pick up the hint, but y'all are talking, and he's like cracking jokes, so you like forget that the song is there because you're laughing so hard. The next song comes on,
Chris Brown.
still R. Kelly. I Believe I Can Fly. So you bring it up, and he's like, yeah, this is R. Kelly's greatest hits playlist. And you're like, would it be okay if we listen to something else? And he's like, he gets a little offended. And he's like, I don't like when women try to control me. Is that a red flag?
100% a red flag. I'm already running back to Strawberry Ice Cream Guy. And I'm texting Strawberry Ice Cream Guy and saying, you
In
know
the
what?
car.
We can have a threesome with your ex.
Yes.
But why that's a problem to me, you know, Remix to Ignition you brought up, and I'm like, a lot of people like will cancel R. Kelly, but that song is very hard for them to cancel. So I'm like, I get it. Even me, like when I hear doom doom, and I have to be like, nope,
Yes.
nope.
As someone from Chicago,
Yes.
it is ingrained in my childhood,
Yes.
R. Kelly. So I get that.
Yeah.
However, but anyway, continue.
I personally don't subscribe to like R. Kelly or whatever, but I can understand how someone can process like it's their music, it's not the artist. I get it. Like I can process a little bit of it. But in the same way that I'm able to process it, you have to also process why someone else would not.
Yes.
And I think for me, the problem in this situation is his unwillingness to see that, like, actually for me, I don't separate the artist from the well, sometimes I can, but R. Kelly, because it was kids, it's just too much.
There's video evidence.
It's video evidence. It's just a little different for me. I'll be honest, like, I can listen to a Chris Brown song. I can.
Yeah.
There was a time I used to hide it, but I can. I can. And maybe I'm a hypocrite. All that to say is I wouldn't be immediately like, but you listening to R. Kelly's greatest hits, and now you're telling me you don't want me to,
Yeah. See, for me, it would be a red flag. The R. Kelly of it all is a red flag to me because, I don't know, it feels like if I'm listening to R. Kelly, I'm putting money on his books
Yeah.
in jail and supporting the fact that he was doing all this disgusting stuff for children. But the bigger red flag is saying that I'm trying to control you by asking you
Yes.
nicely if you could change to other
Yeah.
music, especially with this child.
Exactly. Because I think there was a chance in this situation for a conversation to be had, and actually a fruitful conversation to see how we see art versus. You could find a lot.
Yeah.
But and And it's just giving, like, there's a group of men, and I'll say black men, who have this idea that, like, and I get where it comes from. I'm not ignorant to, like, the history of this country, but they believe, like, everyone's coming down for the black man, you know? And I feel like whilst it's birthed from truth, they apply it to the wrong role models, okay? It's like somebody, like Bill Cosby. Guys.
That's not the one to ride for. That's not the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the man who's working in your office, who's getting treated, you go support him and voice his voice. But I feel like they apply it to these, like, the wrong role models. And sometimes I feel like, whilst it's a trauma response, and I get it, I understand where it comes from, for me it already shows me that we're going to have some conflict, because as a woman, there are things that you have to acknowledge that black men have done. And sometimes if there's that thing of, like, people are coming for the black man, they will not acknowledge it.
And this might be a leap, but it feels like when people go hard in defending people like Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, I'm like, why is it that you feel so passionate about defending them? Like, what is it in you? Do you have similar quality? Are you making similar justifications in your actions? And that may be a leap, but
even this recent actor who had an allegation, and I don't know if it's real or not, but, like, the way people were writing, it's just, like, with no proof.
Yeah, but I think everything is not a campaign to bring down the black man.
No.
Sometimes people just make bad decisions, and they need to be held accountable for those bad decisions, and that's just what it is.
Exactly. So,
anyway,
I'm not going on a date with Mr. Fire Red Truck.
Okay, maybe pink ice cream.
Yeah. Okay. Pink ice cream, I'm kind of interested in. Kind of have a crush. So, this is the part where I give my red flag of the week. This is a very short story, but you know. Speaking of, like, someone who has come from a relationship. So I was dating this guy. Him and his ex had broken up. I think it was like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But then they tried to get back together, like, for 2 months. Didn't work out.
Okay.
And then I met him maybe like 5 months after that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But the first time they dated was like a year or 2 years.
Okay.
Then they break up. Then they come back together for 2 months. Doesn't work. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Then I meet him like 4.5 months later.
Okay.
Now I can tell, even though he's like, I'm over it. You can always sense when it's a little bit hurt. Doesn't necessarily mean, and I don't think he wanted to go back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
He never went back, to my knowledge. But you can always tell, like, she was from a certain country, and I had brought up, like, oh, let's go eat at this certain country food. And he was like, oh, I can't do that. And I'm like, why? He's like, oh, she's from. So I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You never gonna catch me not eating at an American diner. You know what I mean? I'm like, oof, that is deep.
That's deep.
It's very deep.
Yeah.
The place was it. No, So, okay, we had one of those, like, fast connections. The first month, fantastic. Okay, mwah, 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 mwah. Like, green flag galore. Then it was a situation where we live in different cities. So the time we were spending together was in LA.
Yeah.
And so when I went to his city, wherever that city is, it was my first time being in his space. Now, him and said ex shared a lot of time in that space.
Got it.
So when I walked in, I already sort of felt like I'm in someone else. I could feel it. Like, it was like shift energetically because I do believe I'm super sensitive to energy.
Now, was it that you were picking up on his energy having you in the space, or you just walking in the space, just feeling like,
Both.
okay,
I think we both felt like, ooh,
yeah,
how did you get here? Come on. You listen, I think we both were like, nobody's supposed to be here. And I'm talking about his house, not his heart.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well,
Man, if you're listening, call me because I think it's been enough time. We can we can do a
Have a
rewind. This pink starburst guy. Actually, the pink starburst guy reminded me of this guy. So yeah, I think it was one of those situations. So that weekend was a little off.
yeah.
But the part that killed me, and this is the question. We had some morning prayer. Okay.
You had some.
It was a Sunday, so let's keep it holy.
Okay.
We just some
heated
morning
fellowship.
Yeah. A heated fellowship, praise and worship,
Yes,
speaking in tongues, honey. Okay, great. Then right after, you go and freshen up, I come out. This man is staring out the window, listening to Boyz II Men, 4 Seasons of Loneliness. Sir, I am present in your house. Why are you experiencing not 1, but 2, but 3, but 4 whole seasons of loneliness after I gave you my best praise and worship? First of all, and I talk about R. Kelly in the next song. So I'm like, maybe it's shuffle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a Sunday.
Right. Could be your chill vibes playlist.
Yeah, could be next song, Boyz II Men, Water Runs Dry. Staring out the window.
See, okay. If I'm to give the young man the benefit of the doubt, as someone who is a huge 90s R&B Boyz II Men fan, I can't even make that statement because it's the staring out the window.
It's staring out the window, smoking a joint.
Because I would listen to both of those songs, and like listening to those songs in particular is nothing to me. It doesn't indicate anything because I listen to sad music all the time. R&B is my shit. So to me, it's like that's just Sunday morning, like chill vibes. But it's the staring out of the window, reflecting with those 2 songs. In particular, it's a very strong...
Actually, and let me add some more details to the story.
All right.
So he had a vinyl.
Okay.
A vinyl machine. Is that what it's called? The machine.
Record player.
A record player. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge Division fan, especially at the time. So he had actually bought a Division record. Mm-hmm. So that was played through praise and worship.
Okay.
So you took out the Division.
This was a wait.
And put the Boyz II Men vinyl. That was a choice. It was not shuffle, honey.
That is
it was not Spotify.
Yeah, because there's no playlists on
you said,
a vinyl.
You know what I need to listen to right now? Boyz II Men. So
and you know what's a little fucked up about that is that you made that choice. To me, if I'm feeling all of those things right after I have, as what Duran calls heated fellowship, I would push past it and then do that on my own.
Yeah.
So
because I was leaving in an hour.
Upset the person that I'm with, or give them any indication that that's what's going on. Because it seems like he needed to work through some shit on his own and think through some shit. But that was not the time to do that. The time to do that was after you had gone. And then you can process your emotions and your feelings. It just feels very...
You know what's hard about him is he's a very honest person. So, like, he is.
No,
he never ever lied to me.
Sure. But I just feel like honesty... It's that thing where people are like, I'm honest, I'm blunt. It's like nobody is asking for that.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say what's hard about him is, like, he lives very honestly. Like he doesn't do the fake thing. Like, I think he just really struggles to be fake. So in fact, something that was really attractive to me about him was he just is, how you meet him is how he is, you know? And so I think when I look back at it, I think it was just like, and I've had it where you're intimate with someone and then you miss your ex. Not because it was bad or good or whatever. I just think it brings up a feeling. And I
Yeah.
think especially because we were in that specific space.
Right.
I think like that's where his mind went. And he's not someone who's good at like being like, I should fake through this for the next hour. And I'm not saying that that's the right way to be. I'm
Yeah.
just saying the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
quality that I was attracted to is the same quality where I was like, you wrong for that, you know? And that's what was hard
Yes.
about him, because I think it was refreshing to meet someone like that.
Yes.
But in the same vein, I was like, yo, I'm here watching someone listen to 4 Seasons of Loneliness. Oh my Jesus.
But if I may push back on that a little bit. It is sure, be honest. It's a lovely quality. It's one thing to feel like you need to be fake and not be able to do that. It's another thing to put on a whole record and then go sit and stare out the window. What he could have done and been honest is like, you know, I understand that we just praised and worshiped, and it brought up some feelings in me that I need to work through, and I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, but this is what I just want to be honest about. This is what's happening right now.
I agree. I'm not saying he shouldn't have done that. I think he absolutely should have done that. I'm very upset. I am not defending this horrific.
I just think that honesty can look a bunch of different ways, and I think that was immature.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm really feeling like defending this Mr. Pink Sports Star. I guess I'm trying to look at it with empathy.
Yeah.
I think the thing about it was he did not know. I don't know that he knew what was happening. Like,
right.
I think he was like, I don't think he knew. Oh, I'm missing my ex.
Sure.
I think
Sure.
he was just in a
I get that.
whatever. And I think because we weren't like, it wasn't long enough into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we weren't boyfriend, girlfriend. It was just like we were dating and it seemed like it was going somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he couldn't there was no comfort in being like, hey, this is what's going on, blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Like I wish what he had said is like, sis, you know, I thought I was ready. I know I told you that I was ready 500 times, but this like being in the space is like bringing up
stuff. Yeah.
you know, which is, to his credit, what he said the following day.
Okay.
So
yes.
I think it just took him some time.
Sure.
But when we look back at that isolated incident, how
Yeah.
red
That
was red?
you know, given all the context,
Yeah.
it would be somewhere in between pink and red
Okay.
for me.
Would you spin the block on him? Asking I'm not spinning the block on him, but would you?
What do you mean by spin the block? You mean spin the block as in dating, or spin the block in praise and worship?
Let's say he showed back up 7 months later. Would you give him another chance?
Absolutely.
I did.
But you're also talking to the spin the block king. You are talking.
Let's talk
to
about that.
someone-
Why do we like to spin the block?
Here's the thing. Okay, I feel like there are two different spin the blocks. There's a spin the block with getting into another relationship, and there's spin the block with having sex again.
I'm talking about, okay. Yeah.
Both things for me are like comfort. I know what I'm getting. I know that in terms of sex, I know what I'm getting. I know what works. I know what to expect. I know what I'm not going to get, and I know what I'm going to get. So it's just comfort, and my best friend says you can always go back to your most recent ex. It's some ridiculous rule that he made up in college and has just been living his life by that. But I don't know. I just like being comfortable and not having to do the like can I trust you thing. Is this going to be good? Usually it's like, oh, I know that's going to be good, and we can have another moment in the woods and move on. That's what I do. I don't typically spin the block anymore in relationships. I think that was a young York thing, feeling like I missed out on something, or it was just a moment in time where they were like in a different space, and I'm sure it'll be better this time. It's never better.
Well, no, I used to spin the block a lot. There's one person multiple times. And what's interesting is nothing ever changed. Like, honestly, it's like refreshing for the beginning, and then it's like,
same shit.
Oh, this is exactly why we're not supposed. In fact, sometimes I think I want to spin the block. Like, I get itchy every few months, not months, like a year or so. I know, I'm like, ooh, I feel like I need to spin the block. And I think it's subconsciously I need to be reminded why I don't want to be with this person. Because I know if I go back, I'll be like,
Yeah.
like, there's a person I'm like, I just need 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I know after 2 weeks, I'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's why I can't be with you.
Yeah.
But
it can be fun.
yeah.
It can be a good
Do you think
time.
that's a red flag about us, that we like to spin the block?
Probably. Probably.
Why?
For me, it has the same sort of feeling tone of like can't stand strong in their choices. And like it gives
Or
you a little
I
wishy-washy.
don't, yeah.
That's if I'm to be honest. I mean, I think there is like some room for grace in terms of like you're looking for comfort and you want to make sure and you know all of that.
Yeah.
But
Well, 2 red flags looking at you right now.
here we are. So I have a question for you. So I saw a TikTok on TikTok, and this girl was talking about how it is a green flag if men have sisters, or they have
A green flag.
Green flag.
Oh, I thought you said a red flag.
No,
I
no,
was
no.
like, my brothers are wonderful.
Yeah. No, they said she said it's a green flag for women if the guy that they're dating has sisters or like an older sister or cousins, female cousins that are close, and they're more likely to notice when you've changed your hair or your nails and just be more empathetic. And so I just wanted to know for you, is that something that you consider in the dating process where you're like, oh, this person has sisters or has close relationships with women, close friendships. If someone doesn't have that, if they don't have any sisters, they don't have any female cousins, they don't have any close female friends, do you consider that to be a red flag, or is that kind of like could be, could not be?
For me, it's all about the relationship to those sisters, because I think like I can see what she's trying to say, but I also have a horrible ex with nothing but sisters. And he has a lot of relationships to women, like close women, like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to give.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the people in his life are women.
Yeah.
And I just think sometimes men can be good at compartmentalizing that's my sister, but you are not. That said, and also I think he's a wonderful brother to them. So it's hard.
Yeah,
So
it
I just
doesn't
don't
apply.
think it's like great. And this means it's like how people are like, does he love his mom? Because sure, it could be
Yeah.
helpful, but I
Right.
also don't know that it means absolutely will.
Yeah.
That said, I do see what she's saying, because
Yeah.
I think that it allows you, it's just like anything. The more you're exposed to a culture or women growing up, the more likely you are able to relate or to understand a different perspective,
Right.
versus just growing up around like men or only children, which is my fucking speciality. They are very hard to date.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all who have only children. Like, or who are only children, because I just find them very hard to date.
Yeah.
And I think right now I need to stop, because they cannot, they've never had to share a toy.
Yeah.
Let alone have a meaningful conversation.
Consider someone
else, and they can't even see it.
That's so interesting. I never thought about that, because when you're, I am the oldest of 5, but when you have siblings, you are constantly having to deal with somebody else's feelings and opinions, whether you like it or not. It's like you have to like deal
and your
with,
parents force you to.
right.
They're like, what does Jeremy want? What does Neil? I'm like, I don't care what they want, but I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
But dating an only child, which I've done too many times, I cannot do it anymore.
Because you
I'm
don't
kidding.
have to think
I
about.
might.
But that's interesting, because you don't. If you're an only child, you don't have to think about other
No.
people at all until you are in relationship. Well, I guess friendships, sort of. But I feel like relationships are a special kind of like, I don't know. It's more. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like deeper. It's more intense.
Yeah.
To have to share, everything. You're sharing space. You're sharing.
Parents, you're sharing love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then that's the other thing. Only children don't understand that your mom can love you, your sibling, your other sibling in very different ways. Like, and it doesn't take away from your love.
Right.
Now, you tell an only child like you're gonna go hang out with your friend versus them.
Yeah.
They don't understand that to them time equals importance.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure.
Yeah.
But also I love many people.
Right. I wonder if we're gonna get attacked by only child Twitter.
No, only child Twitter must come talk to me, because I have a speciality. Like I said, I've been with y'all's kind multiple times, and I think only children are attracted to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, I'm dealing with something today. Clearly, I'm angry. Why am I so angry today?
It's all right.
Okay. Instagrammer. Because did you have something else to say? I feel like you wanted to say something.
I have another question.
Okay, go.
So, I've been waiting to talk about this. So we have a mutual friend.
You and I?
Yes. Who recently we were talking to, and they said that if you have not had sex by the 3rd date, that is a red flag. And I initially, when it was said, I felt some type of way because it just felt very presumptuous.
Yeah.
That especially because this person is a man who is dates women. So to me, it felt the older brother in me, who has 3 sisters. It's like, for a man to presume that he should have sex by the 3rd date or else it's a red flag, it just upset me in a way that caught me off guard. And I was also thinking about you, and if you came to me and he thinks I'm a red flag because we haven't had sex, but I just didn't like it. But he's saying that if you haven't had sex by the 3rd date, he's assuming that you're not attracted to him, and then he's bringing it up in conversation and asking hey, are you attracted to me because I'm attracted to you? He's having a conversation, which I think is good. But for you as a woman, do you feel like if a guy hasn't tried to have sex with you by the 3rd date, that's a red flag in your book?
I'm a complicated case study, because we go into the doctor before we ever have sex. Okay? I want us to go for STD testing.
Okay.
Together.
Right. Yes.
Because people will be out here photoshopping results.
That's right.
Okay? Go together.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So as I was thinking about it, it's complicated, because how am I going to finish date number 1 and tell you, sir, date number 2, carbon health?
Yeah.
That's where it gets complicated.
Yes.
But his point was, communication. And I'm actually very quick to communicate that.
Yeah.
Because he was saying, well, if you've communicated that, at least I know there's a desire, we're
Right.
attracted to each other.
Right.
I'm very quick to bring that point up. If I know that I want to get with you, I'll
Yeah.
be like, and just so you know, I'm not having sex with you until we do a full STD panel.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
100%. But I think what he was getting at is that even that communication would tell him that there is a
Yes.
desire to be with someone. And to his point, I will communicate that by date 3.
Yes.
And I think for him, what he should have said, and he listens to this podcast, what he should have said is, if by date 3 we have not spoken about, because some people are virgins, for instance, like, and are dating.
True.
And I think by date 3, as a grown woman, you should communicate, I'm waiting for marriage. I think it's when by date 3 you have not communicated about sex. To me, we're grown. We need to have talked about sex by date 3. Absolutely red flag. By date 3, we have not spoken about sex.
I don't know. I mean, I guess.
That's a red flag for me.
Really?
Big red flag. Men who can't speak about sex scare me.
But by date 3, date 3 just feels so.
On date 3.
On date
Not
3.
by date 3.
Even still, I don't know. I just feel like 3 dates is not.
Can I also defend my friend?
Okay, go ahead.
You know, I'm a big fan of this friend. So the other thing he said is, for him, he's very communicative. And when
Yes.
he's like interested in you, he's like, I'm talking to you every day. So it's not just you've seen it. It's not just by the 3rd time you've
Yes.
spoken. It's that he's been texting you, you've been speaking. So essentially, this is 3 weeks in. Y'all have never spoken about sex. I am running for the hills.
I listen. I hear you. I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't know if that's a red flag.
It is.
Like, a red flag is a strong.
Fire it. Because why can't you speak about sex? We're grown.
Because someone may just be approaching it in a way where they. Just had an example in my head, but it's not a good example. But if somebody might just be approaching it in a way where they're trying to be respectful and they're trying to like let the woman take the lead on that. And so you're saying if he hasn't brought up sex.
I'm saying if both, I know I would. I bring up sex within the first week.
Really?
Absolutely. Because for me, sex is a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's science. To be with me, it's a big science experiment. Now we're going to the lab. You know, it's not like I've never had a one night stand, York, because how are we gonna go to the doctor? You
Right.
know. So my thing is, I bring it up so that you can do your calculation. 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really interested in going for STD test.
Yeah.
Let me leave this chick here now. But my point is approaching it like grown adults. Whether that's like, I'm waiting for marriage, bring that up.
Yeah.
So that person can have a way. But if I bring it up and you're like, that means you're not comfortable with talking about sex. That means you have a very unhealthy relationship to sex. And that means I'm terrified of you. Because for me, I need you to be good with sex. I need you to like understand the way power works in sex. Mm-hmm. I need you to be able to have a conversation about sex. In fact, I'm going to even ask you like, actually, that was a red flag with one of a person.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
I was like, how do you like to be pleased? And he couldn't tell me.
Oh.
Why? Why don't you know your body like that at this big age?
Yeah. Okay. Listen. Here's the thing. At the end of the conversation, I came around and I was like, okay, I think you're right, because when I look back
but
at
that's because he laid his fuckboy on you.
He did.
Yeah.
That's a different story. But why am I attracted to fuckboys? What is it? That's a different topic. We need to come back to that at some point. But I think when I look back at my personal history, sex has always come up before the 3rd date.
Yes.
It just feels it's such a strong statement that there's and it might just be my Christian upbringing
Yeah.
that is like fighting against reality and
Yeah.
also my own, real experience that I don't know. But point taken.
I think of every person I've wanted to have sex with. By day 3, I knew. And
I mean,
I was either indulging or I was conversing
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like, to his point, if I didn't, we never did.
Yep. That's true.
And I just think I think y'all should be bringing up sex on the second date. By second date, during second date. I think
Yeah.
so. Talk about sex, y'all. It will tell you a lot about a human.
It's true. And I think with the gays, it has to come up. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a lot. Anyway.
Okay. To the Instagrams.
The Grums.
Is this a red flag? Someone not liking your photos on social media. This seems silly.
Are y'all together?
Yes.
In this scenario?
Yes. This seems silly. But me and a close friend that I have, who also listens to this podcast, I think it's a red flag. Why are you afraid to have York Walker and others like this picture? Why? Why?
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding?
Yeah.
We're together and you can't like my photo?
Yeah.
It says something.
You should like every photo just on principle.
We should be sitting next to each other and you should be like, damn, girl.
Yeah, that's right.
Comment.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like.
The loudest
Because-
comment, all caps,
Yes.
fire emojis.
In fact, that's how you know.
Yeah.
That's gonna bring up. I'll be like, okay, I have this ex that I do tend to spin the block on. And when I need to know, is he with with someone, I go look at the person. I think, have you liked? Oh, he liked her pics. They're probably still together. You see, he's a good man. He's saying, yay, mine, like. Then I'm like, let me stay away.
Okay.
So you, who's not liking my pics when we're together,
Yeah.
who are you afraid of?
Yeah. Who don't you want to see?
Why don't you want to say York Walker and 5 others like this pic? I don't get it.
Yeah. I'm with it.
So I'm going to give it a nice, I'll put it in the middle.
Yeah. It's a burgundy.
Yeah. Ooh, is this person defending a celebrity accused of multiple counts of sexual misconduct on the first date?
Red
Girl.
flag.
Red flag, we said
Red
it.
Flag. Red
Has has told someone they're dating that they love them, but they refuse to claim them.
What does that mean? Hold on. Wait. They've said.
So we're dating,
Yeah.
me and you.
Uh-huh.
I tell you I love you, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you.
Red flag.
But I can't. I'm not ready. I've been hearing a lot of these stories actually.
Red flag. I don't understand how that doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm not ready.
Ready for then? What are we doing here?
We're dating because
No,
I
no,
love
no.
you.
No. So we're dating. The only reason we're dating is to see if we want to be in a relationship.
But I love you.
You can love me from over there. You're gonna have to because we're not. I'm not doing this. So what are we doing? What is the point? What is the point of you? What good does that do me? You loving me?
I just feel like labels are for people who are insecure.
Oh, okay.
And for me, all I need to know in this situation is that I love you.
That's beautiful for you. I need to know more than that. So
What more do you need to know?
I need to know that you and I are working towards something long-term and or a marriage. If that's not something that you're interested in.
In fact, I think labels put a certain time limit. This is infinite.
When I tell you the flags are burning red, and I don't know why that just upset my spirit so much. My God, because niggas will talk like this. Niggas will talk like this and talk around the issue to make you think that you're getting something that you're not actually getting. Love is not enough to sustain a relationship, and you don't even want the relationship. That's not enough for us to get married. So you talking about I love you. What does that mean? What does that do for me?
Triggered. This
Sir?
is the face of a triggered man. A whole triggered man. Okay, last one. I have been experiencing red flags in old friendships. Old friendships are hard.
They're really hard.
They're very, very hard. And I think I finally figured out why they're hard. is that you become friends with people at a young age.
Yeah.
When you haven't learned how to communicate. You've become friends when you haven't really fully fledged out your worldview and belief system.
Right.
But you like each other and you've gone through a lot together. So time passes. That's what Katori does in when she's doing shit. And I'm always like, that is not the music I thought for you to be having as you think. So 10 years later, you have completely different way of seeing life. You have completely different way of communicating. But because you guys have 8 years of not doing that,
Right.
You don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm a really great communicator until it comes to friends that I've been friends with for time. It's easier for me to communicate with adult friendships than like back in the day, because I'm like, we've never been able to communicate.
Right.
And so when you do, and sometimes I can look at a friendship and be like, if I met you today, we would not be friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do?
I am a proponent of having friends and people that you love, but keeping them at the appropriate distance. I don't know. There are people that I came up with, like there are people from college or not really high school. I don't really fuck with other people. But like there are people from different stages in my life who I love, who I don't necessarily need to be close friends. I don't need to be talking to you every day. You're not here, but I love you. But because as time has gone on, we've sort of grown and matured in different ways. I love you, but I love you from a distance. I'm gonna keep you right there. And I think that's okay. Everybody's not meant to go, be friends with you for the entirety of your life. And I think that those friendships still have value. I'll see you when I see you. We'll talk when we talk.
Yeah.
But I don't think just because you have differences that means that you need to cut each other off. That may be the solution. That might be the best thing for you. But I think for me, with all of my friends, I know where all of my friends stand in terms of like closeness. And some are just further away than they used to be. Some that like over time, people move either closer to you or further away. And I'm okay because I have really great friends that are in that close spot that have stayed there for a long time. So
I'm never giving up my spot. So whoever thinks that they're coming for my spot with York, good luck, okay? You better hope I die. And even if I die, I'm occupying that space. The ghost of Kemiyondo will be here. To end this off, give us a green flag.
Green flag.
We're trying to be positive, y'all. Y'all can't think we're here bashing, okay? We are.
My green flag for this week is sexual compatibility.
Oh.
Whether that's like your level of desire, whether it's that, being able to communicate, you have the same kinks.
Communication.
You have the same types of things you like to do. I think that's great because it allows you to evolve and explore sexually even within the context of a relationship. And to be honest, that is where I would love to explore. All of this like apps and dipping into clubs and meeting people and that it just doesn't work for me. I would love to be in a healthy and safe relationship where we can be like, why don't we try this?
Yeah.
And it's like, let's do that. Somebody that's down to do that kind of exploration is a green flag for me.
Good. Yeah, and being able to communicate by day 3.
Yep.
Put that in. My green flag is someone who can make me laugh, and it's so specific to me. Because one, that's going to communicate intelligence. Because I think people want to say, oh, that person's intelligent. They know about all these things. Yeah, everyone can read for the most part. And
for the most part? That's true. That's true.
Someone said you should ask your man to read you a book time out loud on the second date. And I might take that advice.
Is that a red flag if somebody?
No, because the community.
Wait a minute, but the community. What community?
Some people are dyslexic.
Oh no, what I'm talking about is the not the ability to read. What I'm saying, a friend of mine.
York Trinidad get canceled.
What I'm trying to say is a friend of mine recently said to me, it's a red flag if they haven't read a book since high school. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, is that a red flag for me? Or if you just don't like to read, that doesn't mean that you're not intelligent.
I just need to know you're intelligent
Right.
in some way.
A book doesn't have to be
No,
included
because I
in
think
that.
some people equate books with intelligence, and if you ask me, not always.
But not a book. I haven't read a book since
Yeah,
high school.
what are you
That's a
doing? Yeah, that's a long time.
What's
That's
going
a very
on there?
yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, but if you're still intelligent and you haven't, who am I to say how you get your intelligence?
It's true.
I'll be interested. Genius. But yeah, I think some of Big Funny shows, one, you listen to me because things that make me laugh are like, I'll drop gems. And especially if you do a throwback joke, oh my
Yes.
God.
Love a
Green
callback.
flag. Green
Love a callback.
flag.
Yeah.
Galore. Manifesting.
I love it.
All right, so on this week, don't spin the block. Strawberry ice cream, hit us up. We are looking for sponsors.
That's right. Also, at 3 dates is the threshold for
3 dates. Speak about
sex.
it.
So
Speak about it. If anyone wants to open a business for STD, like a membership card, and you can go take as many STD tests. I think that is a bomb-ass business because testing for STDs in America is so
It's
expensive
trash.
and
It's
trash. So it's just a club. All they do is STD tests.
anytime.
I can pay premium amounts, and I can bring a partner anytime I want.
Yeah.
So that you can't be like, I don't want, no.
Yeah.
And I can come every week if I need to.
That's right.
And you don't ask me questions, but you just tested 6 weeks ago. Ma'am, I have a new partner.
That's
Is
right.
that any of your business?
That's right.
No.
Don't ask no question.
Don't.
Now, is this a 24-hour place? So if like
Love it.
you,
That I can finally have a one-night stand? Yes.
listen, we're having a good time. We're
Yes.
drinking, and people are getting some over the
Let's
sweater
just-
action. Let's just circle
make a
around
stop.
to the
Let's make a stop. Yes.
24-hour testing.
Okay. If
come
anyone
on.
wants to give me money for this startup, also welcome. Pink Starburst Man,
Wherever
you are, hit us up.
Yeah.
And share and like and subscribe.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Avoid all red flags at all costs. But if
right.
you don't, share them with us so we
Yeah.
can laugh with you.
Instagram. Love it.
Bye.
Bye.